Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a genuinely fascinating digital reality, the deeply layered, sometimes shocking ways your Windows 11 computer is uniquely identified and tracked across the internet. We're going to unpack the architecture of persistent digital identity and how big tech and even the government can trace exactly who and where you are.
So you know the drill, right? You fire up a VPN, pop open an incognito window, clear your cookies, and boom, you think you're perfectly hidden. It's a super common assumption, but the reality? Well, it's a whole lot more complex when you're running a modern cloud-connected operating system. Today's devices are engineered to be hyper-integrated and seamlessly connected, which means, unfortunately, absolute invisibility is pretty much a myth. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the illusion of anonymity, move into browser-level fingerprinting, then look at Windows diagnostic telemetry, the global device identifier, how the FBI tracked it, and finally, balancing privacy and security. All right, let's jump right into part one, the illusion of anonymity.
Let's kick things off with a pretty wild real-world example. There was this 19-year-old hacker named Peter Stokes, and he really thought he was a ghost. He routed all of his activity through commercial VPNs and proxy servers to pull off an $8 million ransom breach. But guess what? He was eventually stopped at the Helsinki airport carrying two massive hard drives. The US government literally tracked him across 3 different countries. The highly sophisticated methods they used to pinpoint him prove that simply masking your network IP address is just one tiny piece of the puzzle. It is nowhere near enough to break the tracking linkage anymore.
Moving on to part two, browser-level fingerprinting. To really understand how this tracking works, before we even touch the deeper operating system, we have to look at the surface layer you interact with every single day, your web browser. Now, for years, browsers sent out what were called legacy user agent strings. Think of it as a pretty generic broadcast of your browser type. But today, they use user agent client hints, or UACH. This is basically a high-fidelity digital magnifying glass. It precisely detects if you're using Windows 10 versus Windows 11, and it can even pinpoint your device's exact CPU architecture, like whether you're running an ARM or x86 processor. Scripts run silently in the background, harvesting these signals to create a totally unique fingerprint of your machine, entirely bypassing things like incognito mode. And your choice of browser plays a massive role in this tracking network. Microsoft Edge, Opera, and crucially, Google Chrome, which is literally the world's most popular browser, actively support these user agent client hints. They freely share this highly specific diagnostic data with websites. Because Google Chrome has such a massive market share, this specific tracking standard is incredibly widespread. On the flip side, privacy-focused browsers like Firefox actually don't support this specific hardware differentiation right now. So simply choosing to use Chrome or Edge significantly changes how easily your physical machine gets fingerprinted by the web.
Which brings us to part 3, Windows diagnostic telemetry.
Diving beneath the Google and browser layer into the operating system itself, we hit the telemetry plane. Windows 11 inherently logs a staggering amount of data about your physical machine for Microsoft. We aren't just talking about IP addresses here. Windows transmits incredibly specific hardware identifiers back to base. I'm talking right down to the exact number of active microphones connected to your device, the active mic count. It logs your chassis type, your motherboard manufacturer, the whole shebang. Even if you don't have an explicit tracking ID turned on, these mundane, everyday hardware attributes combine to form a highly distinctive, passive fingerprint of your specific PC.
Independent cybersecurity researchers call this telemetry an identifier mesh. Think of it like a giant digital spiderweb. In a graph, you don't defeat attribution by simply removing one node. The cluster just reforms through the survivors. What this means in plain English is that Windows tracking doesn't rely on a single magic number. It relies on a whole federation of identifiers stamped side by side. If you change a piece of hardware or rotate your IP address using a VPN, it doesn't matter. The surrounding data points act as a redundant graph to keep your identity perfectly intact. The cluster simply reforms around the missing piece.
Let's look at part 4, the global device identifier. At the very core of this identity mesh lies one incredibly potent string, the Global Device Identifier, or GDID. This is a permanent digital fingerprint that is automatically assigned to your computer the moment you install Windows or sign into a Microsoft account. Microsoft uses it internally to manage software licensing, store apps, and OS telemetry. It's so deeply embedded that it survives Windows updates entirely, persistently linking all your online activities on that computer back to a single, inescapable identity. So how exactly does this identifier get stamped onto your machine? Well, step 1, a Windows system service requests an ID when your device connects to Microsoft infrastructure. Step 2, the Microsoft server assigns a Passport Unique ID, or PUID. And the absolute crucial takeaway here is that this identifier isn't computed locally from your hardware, it's a server-assigned string. Step 3, it gets stored right in your local registry in plain text. And finally, step 4, the connected devices platform reads it, slaps a lowercase g in front of it, and stamps it onto your PC's activity to power all those cross-device cloud features like Phone Link and Nearby Share.
Okay, part 5. How the FBI tracked it.
Bringing all these layers together, the browsers, the hardware mesh, the GDID, we can see exactly how the US government weaponized this system. Let's revisit the timeline from the federal complaint against Peter Stokes. On May 12, at exactly 1921 UTC, the attacker created an account through a VPN proxy to hide their location. But at that exact same minute, Microsoft server logs showed that a Windows device carrying a specific GDID ending in 0028 visited that same sign-up page. 3 hours later, that exact same GDID visited the breached luxury retailer through the same proxy address. By cross-referencing these telemetry logs, the FBI unequivocally proved that this specific device was behind the attacks, which led directly to the suspect's arrest in Helsinki.
This meticulously documented case is a massive wake-up call for privacy. It proves that the very same operating system identity running on your laptop right now remains persistently tethered to your physical device, no matter where you go or what networks you connect to. While network IP addresses can be easily rotated and spoofed by commercial VPNs, the underlying identifier mesh successfully correlated this single physical Windows installation across 4 countries over 8 months. Investigators anchored the data to accounts, travel records, and imagery until the true identity was undeniably established.
Finally, part 6. Balancing privacy and security. So with these tracking systems so deeply baked into the OS for licensing updates and security, what control do you actually have left? While completely disabling tracking is nearly impossible without breaking essential OS features, but you can significantly limit your exposure. First, utilizing a local account instead of a Microsoft account breaks the primary link. You should also dig into your privacy and security settings to turn off optional diagnostic data and disable cloud content search. And crucially, you should block advertising IDs. This prevents your highly specific device identity from being quietly packaged and sold off across a vast network of third-party data brokers.
As operating systems continue to deeply integrate our local hardware with incredibly convenient cross-device cloud services, we really have to acknowledge the hidden costs. The identifier mesh is real, it's potent, and it is always running in the background. So we're left with a critical question to ponder. In our rush for the ultimate seamless cloud experience, have we permanently traded away our right to disappear? It's a profound question we all need to answer for ourselves. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.